I don't want to alarm you, but there's a people-pleasing pandemic plaguing the coaching industry. It's me, Sally Oddy, your Soulpreneur success coach, and I have now christened her Fanny the Flip Chart, raising women up one flip at a time, because I love her so much. She deserves a funky little name. So today we're talking about the people-pleasing pandemic plaguing the female coaching industry in particular. And this is something that I realised I had fallen victim to last year. It completely took me by surprise that I'd fallen victim to this. I had no idea it's what it was that was holding me back. And it could be the thing that's holding you back without you knowing it as well. So people-pleasing pandemic. So let's get straight on in there. So how it shows up. So how it shows up for you, and obviously this is specifically in relation to your coaching business or your online business, whatever business you're in. So how it shows up for you, you give too much for free. Oh. So it can show up because you're giving too much for free. These are like warning signs, essentially, that you might be suffering from the people-pleasing pandemic. So you give too much for free. So you give away too much of your high-value how-to content in your social media posts, your blog posts. You give unsolicited coaching. So people DM you or message you and you give really, really specific how-to advice, unsolicited or completely for free. So you're basically giving away all of your IP, your intellectual property for free. You give away too many free coaching sessions. Now, this is an interesting one because when you start off in your coaching business, I actually recommend that you do some free coaching, offer some free coaching, because it gives you an opportunity to hone your methodology, make sure that the transformation that you're offering can get the results that the people who you're coaching want, get some real feedback and kind of get used to the idea of coaching as well. But also it gives you a valuable opportunity to get some feedback from real life coaching clients. But I always suggest to my clients, the members of the Business of Coaching Academy, that if you're going to give coaching away for free, you have a set number of sessions that you're giving away for free, and you make it very, very clear it's in exchange for feedback. So that I would suggest giving some away for free, but be very clear on how you're doing it and why you're doing it, that you're not just doing it to please others, get others to like you, or any of that kind of stuff. It can also be giving away too much for free in your challenges. So if you're running a 5-day challenge to fill your group coaching program, it might be that you actually give too much information in that challenge, so that can harm your ability to enroll people in your coaching program. I have actually done this myself. I have created a challenge and I gave so much incredible stuff in there that the majority of the people after the challenge were like, oh my God, that was so amazing, Sally. You've given me enough work to do for the next few months, and this is really going to help me set up my coaching business. Thank you very much, goodbye. And I was like, oh, damn, I gave too much for free because I was like really wanting to make a good impression, and I was really quite desperate for people to know like what I can do and how much value I can add to them. So I approached it with that kind of energy, and therefore I gave too much away for free in my 5-day challenge. You can also give too much for free in your lead magnets. So if you're giving away too much high value how-to knowledge and information in your lead magnets, again, that will harm your ability to convert those people into clients down the line. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually be giving too much of your high value how-to information away for free because you've got this people pleasing. So that's one of the ways it shows up in your business. The other way it shows up is that you doubt your value. So you doubt the value that you have to offer as a coach. You doubt yourself, you doubt your ability as a coach. And the way that can come across, the way it can show itself, if you're tuning in live, by the way, type team live in the comments so I know you're here. And feel free to ask questions as we go along. This is a coaching session after all. So you doubt your value, and the way that can come across is you undercharge. You really struggle to know how to price your offer, and then you undercharge your offer. And that can be so damaging to your business, to your authority, and to your ability to build a successful and sustainable business going forward, because people might doubt what you're offering. You know, you can like actually dull down your authority by undercharging. You can overgive to the extreme. So when you've got a coaching client, you could overwhelm them with too much stuff. I know this is something I'm still a little bit guilty of. I am trying to rein myself in. It is a big challenge when you're a natural people pleaser and you've got all of this amazing knowledge to give. Your instinct is to give it all in one big go, but actually that can be very overwhelming and it can actually damage your authority in some ways. So you can overgive to the extreme. It could also mean doubting your value can also show up by a fear of being visible. So if you're wanting to go live in your group, on your page, wherever, but you're like, oh, what if what I have to say isn't good enough? What if I don't know enough? You doubt your value, and that can make you feel less confident in actually showing up and being visible. And again, that can do so much harm to your credibility, your authority, and your ability to build a scalable and successful business. It can also show up because when you don't make offers, you don't talk about your coaching offer, you doubt yourself when you've created an offer, so you don't want to talk about it, you feel shy or embarrassed. Because you're coming from that sort of needy people pleaser place, it makes you feel like you can't talk about your offers. So you struggle to get visible and you struggle to talk about your offers, and you feel a little bit shy and embarrassed when it comes to talking about your offers, talking about money and making sales. And this is a hard thing, you know, guys, and I'm not underplaying how hard this stuff is, genuinely. Like, your coaches, your natural instinct, your natural ability isn't as salespeople or as marketing people. So when you're kind of forced to do this, when you're creating a solopreneur coaching business, it can bring up all of this stuff, and it's a challenge, you know what I mean? So this is why I'm doing this series of lives, to help you kind of recognize where some of these blocks might be coming from for you, so you can face them and hopefully get over them. So the other way it shows up, you know, I'm all about the energy. Your energy is just a bit off, you know? Your energy is just a bit off. People sense a bit of needy desperation from your energy. And the reason that is because you are needy, because you need them to like you. You need to please them. So it comes across like you want something from them. So they sense this needy energy. I think we're all energetic beings, and we're all far more in touch with each other's energy than we realize. Some people know to name it, but other people just feel it or sense it. Even completely subconsciously, they might be like, yeah, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I just didn't go with them. I just decided not to go onto their coaching program. I don't quite know what it was though. It can be that undercurrent of needy energy they were picking up on. It can also come across in terms of your energy as a bit pushy, because you're obviously kind of feeling quite needy and desperate for people to like you and buy from you and work with you. And also, look, guys, this is not a negative thing. Like, this is all coming from your place of this real, like, bursting desire to serve, you know, like this bursting need to coach, and you want to help people so badly. But tied up into all of that is this real big desire for them to like you, love you, appreciate you as well. So it can show up as a lack of confidence and conviction in terms of your energy. So if you're a bit like, well, I think this is how this is going to work, but someone else said something the other day, and I think maybe that was like, that comes off. You know, if you don't have courage of your convictions and courage of what you're saying and confidence in what you're saying, however you say, like, I'm obviously quite sort of loud and brash and stuff, but like, you can be really quiet and soft spoken and still really have courage of your convictions. And if you don't have that courage of your convictions, it can come across in your energy, and it can have a knock-on effect on how people are perceiving you as a coach. The off energy can also be if you're a bit apologetic. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if this is right. I'm sorry this is taking so long. You know, you're apologetic for sharing your amazing value, and that does not come across well in terms of energy. And also you do things because you feel the need for a visible result. So for example, me doing this Facebook Live on my page, which I've just started promoting, I've not really done anything on my page for ages. If I started doing these lives with a need for a visible result, I need to have a lot of people watching, I need to have a lot of people commenting right away, and I've done the first one and given up thinking it wasn't working. You know, you can't be so attached to that visible outcome of what it is you're doing, because you'll stop doing it, because you won't get that visible outcome the first time, the second time, the third time. This stuff takes consistency. So you've got to detach from that outcome enough and have that courage of your convictions enough to keep going, even when the visible result isn't there yet. Do the good action and the result will follow. So the other way it shows up is you feel like a busy fool. Hands up, who can relate to this? You feel like you're running around at a million miles an hour. You're doing all the things all the time and not getting the results that you want. That is a very, very powerful way that this people-pleasing pandemic shows up for female coaches. You're putting in loads and loads of effort and energy, but because you've got that people-pleasing pushing you forward, your focus can be on the wrong things. And this can make you over busy for no results. It also shows up because you have a lack of boundaries. Remember, these are all ways that you can identify for yourself if you are a victim of this people-pleasing pandemic. So you have no firm boundaries. So you find yourself saying yes to stuff when actually you mean no. God knows I've done that enough in my time. You end up doing too much for others that doesn't actually serve you or your business or your audience or community or your clients in any way whatsoever. It just distracts you from your purpose. So you end up being pulled in all these different directions, and it's not actually helping you, your business, or your clients. You always put yourself last. This is a lack of boundary. You always put yourself last. You put your business, your needs, your own stuff last. It also shows up in authority. A lack of authority, a lack of perceived authority in your community. When you doubt yourself, when you come across as apologetic, when you are a bit kind of flim-flam, you know, on your opinions, you're kind of not really fixed, you're not coming across like you really know what you're on about, people will be like, unfollow, she doesn't know what she's on about. So it can really, really come across in your ability to show that you've got authority in your subject area, when you've got like no firm stance. And the final one that I just wanted to touch on, because is it E before I never know how to spell receive, which is quite ironic. It's in your, you find it hard to receive. So you find it hard to receive compliments. You find it hard when people are reaching out to you to offer you something. You think, what do they want from me? And the underlying current of where that comes from is because subconsciously you're wanting something from them. You're wanting them to like you. So it gets in this kind of needy energy cycle. So those are the ways that this kind of needy, this people-pleasing pandemic can be showing up in your business. So let me know if any of those things sound familiar to you and you think that it could be a people-pleasing tendency underneath these things that you're facing in your business. So now we're going to look at how it feels for your clients. And by clients here, I mean basically anybody in your community who is a lead or a prospect. So this is how it comes across. And this is all pretty ironic because the way it comes across is the exact opposite of how you feel inside. The exact opposite. This is why this people-pleasing thing is so blooming annoying, because it's not actually what your intention is at all, but it kind of weasels its way into what you're doing. So how it feels to clients. Inauthentic. It comes across like there's something off, like you're not being 100% honest. Which obviously Of course you are. Your heart is pure and honest, but the energy is off. So it's causing a little bit of mistrust there. It can feel suspicious. What's going on? What you're not telling me? What's this undercurrent that I'm sensing here? And worst case scenario, it can feel fake. It can feel fake. It feels, as I said, it feels needy, pushy, and desperate. Now just put yourself in those shoes. If you were talking to a coach and they felt needy, pushy, and desperate, would you want to work with them? No. It makes you mistrust the results, or mistrust the ability to get results. Because the energy's like a little bit off, you're like, she's saying she's going to be able to get me here, but is she really? Because I'm not kind of quite building that trust rapport. I'm not quite sure I believe what's being said here. So mistrust results or ability to deliver. Okay? It also can make your client feel like you are going to be hard work. Like you're going to be annoying. You're going to be needy. You're going to be emailing them every 5 minutes, needing to know, are you enjoying it? Are you getting what you want from it? You know, that there's a balance to be struck. You know, you need to keep that level of authority. Your clients shouldn't feel that you're being really, really overly needy and that you're being quite hard work. And finally, that you want something from them. And this is dangerous, because when you work with a coach and when you decide to trust a coach, you're coming from a place of probably real vulnerable need. You know, one of the things that we must never, ever underestimate is how difficult and vulnerable and courageous it is for our clients to step forward and say, I need help. Even in what I'm doing, which is business and marketing, like a lot of you guys coach on much more deeper emotional stuff than what I coach on. And even in what I coach, even though it's quite strategic, it's hard for people to say, I need help. It's a very, very vulnerable thing to do. And if your clients are feeling that you're inauthentic, dishonest, suspicious, fake, needy, pushy, desperate, mistrustful of the results you're going to deliver, that you're going to be hard work and that you want something from them, they're not going to want to work with you. And guess what? We're all in such competitive environments. There's going to be somebody else for them to choose from. You're not going to be the only option. So if this stuff is blocking you from selling your coaching and from attracting clients into your business, this is stuff you need to really, really prioritize working on. So how this feels for you, I don't know where to click for my page. So feels for you. This might actually be a funny flip chart 2-pager for the first time ever, because I don't think I'm going to fit all this in. How it feels for you. I mean, put some words in the comments on how it feels for you, because I'm sure that you can probably tell me as well as I can tell you. But it feels, you feel frustrated. You feel confused. You feel stressed out, man. Stressed out. Fucking hell. That is such a stressful position to be in. You feel resentful. Ooh. Whoa, that's a big one. When you start to feel resentful, that is a bad energy space to be in and a really, really difficult place to win work from. You feel burnt out because you're working so hard to please everybody all the time. That's a hard place to be coming from when you're building a business. That is a really, really hard place to be coming from. And this is a big one as well. You feel misunderstood. That's not who I am. Why do they think that about me? That's not who I am. Okay. Now we're going to move on to how to fix it, okay? If you're like, holy shit, that's me, nodding your head to this stuff, now we're going to talk about how to fix it. And actually, we're going on to a second page. Isn't that exciting? So, how to fix it. Oh, fix it. So I'm all about giving you the solutions here, okay? The first one is to start practicing putting yourself first, okay? Start practicing putting yourself first. And there are a range of ways you can do this, because I know that we can find it quite difficult to do. You can set your firm priorities. Oopsie. That's prioritise, not priorities. Set prioritise. Set priorities, right, okay. Set your focus and your direction. And these are about kind of building those benchmarks, those boundaries that you know you've got something to benchmark things against. So when somebody asks you to do something, you've got some checkpoints. Does this fit in with my priorities? Does this move me forward in terms of where I'm focusing and the direction I'm moving in? Does this help me? Does this help my clients? It kind of helps you kind of frame things better. I love the word framing, because framing, when we're suffering from these fears and these insecurities and anxieties or whatever, being able to frame things in a different context can be the complete thing that turns things around for you. So the other thing to do is to really start to acknowledge the value that you have to offer as a human being with valuable experiences and gifts and things and gifts to share with people. And also as a coach, as an experienced coach who's got the skills to do what you can do. And a great way to start really recognizing your value is actively asking for feedback. So people pleasers can be really, really afraid of asking for feedback because they're scared of, like, what if it's negative? What if they don't like me? What if I don't like what I hear? How will I be able to handle that? And a lot of the reason for that is because you're too attached to that outcome. But feedback is a really, really empowering thing to get, good, bad, or indifferent. But what I want you to really do is look back on all the good feedback you've gotten. I put my feedback all in a Word document, and on days when I'm thinking, God, I'm just not feeling it, what do I have to offer? I read back through my really good feedback and I read it out loud and I really feel it, I embody it, and it always G's me back up again. So seek feedback and really, really take it in. Don't just focus on the one not so good piece of feedback you may have received. Focus on all of the really, really great pieces of feedback you've received. Look at your client results. Look at the results you're achieving. Look at the positive impact you're having on the world. Listen, there's a lot of lazy ass motherfuckers doing nothing. You know, you're stepping up through fear and discomfort to help other people, right? Oh my God, you are amazing. You are amazing. There's a billion trillion people who don't have the courage or bravery to do what you are doing. Feel it, know it, own it. So I've said set clear priorities. So boundaries. That's a biggie. You've got to learn how to set boundaries for yourself. You've got to learn to assess things and make a decision whether or not something is good for you. Now, if you find yourself immediately agreeing to things that you don't want to do or that you regret later, just give yourself time. You don't have to respond to everything straight away. You know, we are not passive passengers in our business. You have the ability to say, I'm gonna wait, I'm just gonna sit on that for 24 hours actually and just kind of see what I think about that. And if you feel like you can't possibly do that, just go back to them and say, I'll come back to you in 24 hours on that one. I'm just busy doing something else for now. And give yourself time to weigh it up. You know, don't respond from this instinctive place to please people. Buy yourself a bit of time. What's just squeaked down there? I hope that wasn't mouse. My cat brought in a mouse this morning. Eek! Focus. This is a huge one. So how to fix it is to know what you're focusing on. Know where you're going, right? You've got to have a plan. If you have a plan, you can assess everything against it. Okay, I want to give loads of this information in this social media post. I'm going to go back to my messaging plan and my marketing plan and my methodology. These are all things that I guide people through in the Business of Coaching Academy, by the way. I'm going to go through that stuff and I'm going to assess whether this is part of the plan. Am I giving too much high value how-to content away here? Like, when you've got a plan that you can revert back to, you can make decisions from a place that's not strictly ruled by your emotions. You've got a benchmark. You can sense check what you're doing to make sure that everything is going in the right direction. Again, know you've got a choice. This goes back to what I was saying about boundaries. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Another place where this really shows up that I didn't put on the first flip there is taking on clients who you know are not right for you. Because you've got this need to please, you don't disappoint anybody. God forbid you should say no and anyone might think slightly less of you or be disappointed. But it's your choice. If there is somebody who is stepping forward to work with you and you just know they're not going to be a good fit for you at all. They're either going to be super hard work and drain so much of your time and energy, it's going to take away from your other clients, or you're not going to be able to get the results for them that you would want to get and that they want, then say no. It's your choice. You know, if somebody wants you to come and speak at their event and the audience don't fit your client niche that's in your business and marketing plan, say no. Unless it's something you really want to do and you're really cool and want to like up your speaking skills, then go for it. But assess it. Don't just say yes. You have a choice. And in your choice, be firm. Like, you don't have to apologize or explain yourself. You are a grown-ass woman. I can just say that's not the right opportunity for me right now, but thank you for bringing it to me. No. I'm not going to explain that my mum, sister's, daughter's, son's brother has got a concert and then I need to do this. And I don't have to explain myself to anybody here. If I've made my strategic decision that it's no, then it's no. Be firm on your decisions. The biggest, honestly, I'll just do one more. Show up as you. That's a big one. Show up as yourself. The more you push yourself to do this, the more that people-pleasing tendency will start to dissipate for you. Because people will see who you genuinely are in your heart, with no expectations, with no bullshit layer of anything else at all. Show up as you as much as you possibly can. Some people might not like it, and that is fine. Like, that is fine. I'm sure there's a whole heap of people who don't like me, and that's fine. Me or Fanny the flip chart. That's fine. Like, if you're watching this and you're like, who is this crazy bitch? Just like unfollow me. That's cool, right? But there's going to be a whole host of people who are like, oh, Sally is talking my language. Good. You're my people. You're my dream clients. You're the people I want to talk to. Don't be afraid to show up as you. And this final one, so big, I'm going to write it in red. And I've mentioned it a few times, but it's so powerful that when you start to do this, everything will shift. Kind of mentioned this before when I was saying about like, if I was doing these lives with a real attachment to a visible outcome or a firm fixed outcome that I was wanting to achieve, whether that be viewer numbers or comments or likes or shares or whatever. Like, I would have stopped doing them after the first one because I've not given this page enough attention and there's not enough people watching my videos at the moment, you know, but that's fine because I know in my heart why I'm creating these, right? It's come from here. I know in my heart why I am doing this. I'm doing this because I feel I've been quiet for too long and I have been doing other things, admittedly fair enough, but now is my time to share my message. And I don't actually care if 1 person or 1 million people see this. I'm doing it because this is what I want to do, right? I want to share my message. Yes, I want to help people, as many people as I possibly can, of course I do, but I'm not going to let any visible results stop me or derail me from doing what I want to do. Same goes from when you're launching a coaching program or writing an ebook or enrolling people in a challenge. If you're too attached to the outcome, I want to have 50 people in my challenge, it's good to set targets, set the target, and then give it up to the universe and focus on taking the next best action. If you attach too much to a set outcome, your energy will be needy, pushy, and desperate because all you can see is that. You lose track of the why if you're too attached to the outcome. So this is a super, super powerful thing that you can do to help you kind of rid yourself of this needy energy. So I'm super keen to know in the comments if this has helped you. If a lack of focus and direction is the thing that you feel is stopping you from being able to set clear boundaries, feel confident in the value you've got to share, show up authentically as you, talk about your offers, all of this stuff that we spoke about here. If you're feeling like a lack of business and marketing knowledge or support is the thing that's stopping you from being able to do this stuff and keeping you stuck here, please reach out to me. We can have a chat. Like, I am not a crazy sales lady. I'm a crazy cat lady. I'm not a crazy sales lady. But I've created this learning environment called the Business of Coaching Academy, and it's where I really, really support and guide purpose-driven women like you, female coaches, to build successful businesses and work through all of this stuff so you can show up as your authentic self, so you do feel proud of the products and services you're creating, so you stand firmly in the value you know you're here to deliver, right? You feel secure in the transformation you're here to deliver. And that you've got the tools and the tactics and the strategies to back you up, to help you take all of this to the people who need it. Don't, please, Jesus, please, don't let yourself stay stuck in these things, in these places. There are, whether it's me or someone else, there are people who can help you move through this stuff. And obviously the way I do it is to give you the business, marketing and mindset skills to push through so that you can move forward and be a successful coach, the successful coach that you know you want to be, that has the impact you know you want to have. I've rabbited on for way too long. I hope you've enjoyed this session. Please do let me know in the comments, or if you want to just DM me, that's fine too. I hope you've enjoyed this today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you next time. From me and Fanny, toodaloo!